So go a little something like this. That AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes. Jay Random, my other gracious co-host, is not here right now, but I would like to welcome you all to Atypical Voices in Our Time, a.k.a. the AVIOT Podcast, the official podcast of K3mistry Productions, a media education company. Now, last week we went on a brief hiatus. If you follow us on K3mistry Productions, that's spelled K3mistry on YouTube, then you would know that on YouTube and Facebook, Facebook's where we actually put out a message saying that the AVIOT podcast would not be going out last week. But we are back. Jay Random is not here. He is out right now, but he might be calling in a little later. If he doesn't call in soon, then I'll probably end the show in about 30 minutes. But I'm glad to be back in the States. About 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how I was over in Cape Coast, Ghana, visiting some family over there. The trip definitely was great. I had a wonderful time, and I definitely believe that everybody should take the time to check out Africa at some point, different countries in Africa. Check out Ghana, really. What I noticed is, especially since coming back, is a lot of people, they tend to say, oh, how was your trip to Africa? And my response to them is always wanting to be, Africa is not a monolith. Africa is not just one place where everybody goes to. Africa is actually a continent filled up with different countries. Just like North America has two countries in it. You have the United States and you have Canada. So you could, and then you have Central America, you have South America. South America is filled up of different countries. You have Brazil, you have Venezuela, and whatnot. So that's the same thing with Africa. You have many different countries in there. You have Sudan, you have Kenya, you have Ghana, you have South Africa, you have Egypt, you have Libya. So there's different places in there. But Ghana is definitely unique. The people there are very nice. They are very warm and friendly, and I cannot say enough good things about it. Interestingly enough, if you follow K3mistry Productions on YouTube, then you'll see that I made a message talking about making a vlog. That is a video blog about my trip to Ghana, talking about what I did there and how it was a great time. So, and talking about the different media that I saw there, actually, that's the main reason for the vlog, and not just to show my trip, but to show the different media that I encountered over there. Speaking of vlogs, tomorrow, K3mistry Productions will be releasing its first vlog talking about me and Jay Random's trip to Las Vegas, where we celebrated his birthday. So over there, I took different pictures and videos of the different media in the area, and I put together a vlog just to show the different media that was there. So there isn't necessarily a big lesson behind it, even though there are, I'll be writing follow-up material about the different media that I saw in Vegas, but it's more of to just show you the different media that's out there all over the country and eventually all over the world. So that's pretty much that. To business with this AVIOT podcast. So today, it's going to be pretty interesting. We're just going to talk, starting with NBA basketball player, superstar, and future Hall of Famer and legend, LeBron James. So we'll start with the story with him and Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant is also a very big-time NBA basketball player. And earlier this month, he had made a comment talking about playing with LeBron James, or people that want to go and play with LeBron James, saying that the environment around him can be toxic. And that's not necessarily LeBron James's fault, but that's the media that follows him. They always make it, they always make like a big frenzy out of everything he does. And he was saying that players that want to play with LeBron James, they might fall into that toxic environment. Specifically, Kevin Durant said, LeBron James has so many fanboys in the media, even the beat writers just fawn over him. I'm like, we're playing basketball here, and it's not even about basketball at certain points. So I get why anyone wouldn't want to be in that environment, because it's toxic, especially when the intention is BS attention, fluff. It's not LeBron's fault at all. It's just the fact that you have so many groupies in the media that love to hang on every word. But just out of the way, just get out of the way and let us play basketball. That's what Kevin Durant said exactly. However, the media tended to spin. They actually spun it, and they were saying that he was calling the environment around LeBron toxic, pretty much saying that playing with LeBron would be toxic, when Kevin Durant was actually saying the media make playing with LeBron James a toxic environment. So he understands why people would be hesitant to play on the same team as LeBron James. He's a big figure. A lot of people make a big fuss about him. So LeBron James, when first asked about Kevin Durant's comments, he said he would go check it out for himself before giving his reaction. But then later on, he said that he automatically thought toxic is like you don't want to be around that because it's almost a fatal disease. And LeBron James said that he and his family were angry when they initially heard about Kevin Durant's comments. However, LeBron James and Kevin Durant had a conversation, and Kevin Durant apologized for how his message came out. And as a result of that, LeBron James is indifferent about the comments, and he'll see where it goes. The reason why this is a big deal about playing with LeBron James is because in this generation that we're in right now, a lot of people consider LeBron James on the same level or better than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, Hall of Famer, everybody that knows about basketball knows about Michael Jordan. So people are looking at LeBron James and they're trying to put him on that pedestal. The only thing that's holding him back from, I guess, surpassing Jordan in many people's eyes is that he doesn't have as many championships as Michael Jordan does. Michael Jordan has 6 championships and LeBron James has 3. Now, with LeBron James joining the Lakers, this squad that he's with now was never going to be a great squad overnight. But people believe that if LeBron James gets another big-time player with him, then he'll be able to win another championship. So when Kevin Durant says comments like people might not want to play with LeBron James because the environment will be toxic, that kind of takes people aback. And it's like, is Kevin Durant trying to sabotage LeBron James' chance at getting another basketball player, a big-time basketball player? And I can see why LeBron James would be upset with that. But, hey, everybody's allowed to have an opinion, but at the same time, everybody is allowed to have a reaction to an opinion. With that being said, LeBron James was also in the media because he made a comment on one of his Instagram live posts, I believe, in which he was referring to Jewish people having money. So he didn't say this comment right off the top of his head. He actually was quoting a lyric from a hip-hop artist named 21 Savage. And 21 Savage just released an album recently. I think it's called I Was, I Am, I believe. I Was, I Am. Let me look this up again. And in one of his songs called ASMR, he says a line that is, and I quote, "We be getting that Jewish money, everything is kosher." So as a result of that, LeBron thought that line was great, and he decided to quote that line in his the 21 Savage album is actually called I Am, I Was. I am is greater than I was, like I am greater than symbol I was. So that's the name of the album. And like I said, in his song ASMR, he says that line, "We be getting that Jewish money, everything is kosher." LeBron James thought that was a hot line and decided to quote that in his Instagram live story. And that got some big backlash, specifically from the Jewish community, because the Jewish community felt that it was an anti-Semitic line and it was perpetuating the stereotype that all Jewish people have money. So LeBron James's response to that was, apologies for sure if I offended anyone. That's not why I chose to share that lyric. I always post lyrics. That's what I do. I ride in my car, I listen to great music, and that was the byproduct of it. So I actually thought it was a compliment. And obviously it wasn't through the lens of a lot of people. My apologies. It definitely was not my intent, obviously, to hurt anybody. So that was LeBron James's reaction to the backlash over him quoting that 21 Savage line. So basically, a lot of people that were offended with this line said that this stereotype of Jewish people having money was used by the Nazis in Germany in order to go forward with the Holocaust, which was responsible for the death of over, I think, 6 million Jews or something like that. 6 million people of Jewish descent and other individuals as well. And they were saying that when you talk about that stereotype of Jewish people and money, then it kind of brings people back to that time period where Jewish people were targeted and killed. So that's why they felt bad about that. 21 Savage also apologized recently for that line as well, and he said that the Jewish people I know are very wise with their money. So that's why I said we be getting that Jewish money. I never thought anyone would take offense. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. It was never my intention. I love all people. So even though this was a stereotype with Jewish individuals that was supposedly used in a positive sense, people still took offense to it. So people have a right to have an opinion, but also people have a right to react to that opinion. Now, with this line about Jewish people and money, it's very interesting because that is a big stereotype that goes around. And if you look in the hip hop industry, there are a lot of Jewish individuals in high positions, like Paul Rosenberg, who is a Jewish individual. He is the CEO of Def Jam Records. And Def Jam recordings or records or what have you. And then even if you look in the NBA, Adam Silver is the commissioner of the NBA right now, and he's a Jewish American as well. So you have a lot of Jewish people in these high positions. So when people are saying these references towards Jewish individuals, a lot of times it's coming from a place of observation. It may come from a place of ignorance. It may come from a place of, hey, that's what we know. So I liked what one person had said regarding the 21 Savage line about Jewish individuals. They were saying that I gotta find this now. I need Jay Random here to say something dumb while I go not dumb, but just funny while I go and pull up my research. But this person was pretty much saying that we be getting at Jewish money, everything is kosher. It was a play on words. And when we talk about kosher food, that's seen as food that was obtained cleanly, or it's clean food, or the animals weren't brutally murdered. They were killed in a humane way, and that's how we got that food. And that line, we be getting Jewish money, everything is kosher, this person was saying that that's pretty much a play on words to say that we are getting money in a clean way rather than getting money through drugs, or rather than getting money through illegal practices. So that's why that line, I guess LeBron might have looked at it as, oh, well, that is definitely very interesting. But if you follow LeBron James on Instagram or even on Snapchat, Instagram, not Snapchat, on Instagram, then you'll know that he usually posts him rapping along the lines or the lyrics to different songs that come out that catches his attention. So Meek Mill, another hip-hop artist, actually jumped into this conversation, and he said on Twitter that Jewish people have always owned everything in our culture, the black culture, that is, from record labels, our favorite teams, our neighborhoods, our clothing. It has always been a compliment to say we was getting money like them for knowing the history of them overcoming hatred. He follows this by saying, I can't wait until the day I hear a different race saying we getting black folks money coming from being slaves in America. That would be amazing. So Meek Mill is also taking the side of this line was meant to be a positive thing and not to be meant to be anti-Semitic. And people, I don't think the majority of people are calling LeBron James or even 21 Savage anti-Semitic for this line, but more so insensitive and ignorant. Just a fun fact, in the past, there was a song called Got My Mind Made Up by Tupac Shakur, when he was on the record label Death Row Records. And on this song, he featured another hip-hop artist named Method Man, and Method Man had made a statement towards Jewish individuals that specifically referenced the Holocaust. Statement was actually censored. At the time, Death Row Records was, the CEO of Death Row Records was Suge Knight and I believe Dr. Dre. And so these were both black individuals. Everybody in this mix was black. So Method Man's black, Tupac's black, and the CEOs of Death Row Records were black. But still, this line about Jewish individuals, which I won't quote on this show, that line was censored. So just look up, if you're curious, just look up "Got My Mind Made Up" by Tupac and look up Method Man's lyrics. In the opening part, he says something about Jewish individuals in the Holocaust, and that line was censored. However, this line by 21 Savage, "We be getting that Jewish money, everything is culture," was not censored at all. So, and he's part of the record label Epic, and Epic is actually who released his album. And the CEO of Epic, I believe right now, is L.A. Reid. I'm seeing some things that it might be it might be changed now. Let me see right now. I'm looking it up. Yep, it says. Oh wait, it says Epic Records keeps buzzing. Oh, after L.A. Reid's exit. Okay. Oh, so Sylvia Rohn, who's also a black individual. I guess she's the person that's at the top of Epic Records right now, because L.A. Reid has left Epic Records as its CEO. But anyway, all these individuals are black individuals, and they allowed this line about Jewish individuals to go through. So I guess they didn't see it as harmful or negative. So that's just to compare Method Man's line to 21 Savage's line. So just a fun fact about history. Anyways, with that being said, I've been rambling on and on and on. And I think at this time right now, I'm going to play a song for you all. So K3mistry Productions, which is our record label. K3mistry Productions, I'm talking about music so much, that's why. K3mistry Productions, which is the parent company of the AVIOT podcast, that's spelled K3mistry Productions, actually owns a record label called Conscious Records. And earlier this year, Conscious Records released a song called Meet the Press by Memo. And it was produced by a producer by the name of Scotty Beats. So right now, I'm just going to stop talking, and I'm going to play that song for you all right now, and then I'll hop back on with some more news and updates. So without further ado, enjoy the song.
There ain't enough time in the day, soul search, arm in the leg, giving cards hard to play. Everybody got a poker face, but I know they straight. Can't take it, square in a hole. Queer thoughts, might as well vogue. Some luck, born a toad, even with the kiss, same old. I just fold, origami cranes in the sky. There's a metaphor here, I'm just trying to see the light. But I be asked out like summer rays. Summer rays fail to hit my face. Out of place, out of sight, out of mind. Brain damaged, flat line. Heaven awaits, I'm at the front gate. Electric shock, now it's back to the hard knock. Try filling my socks, ready or not, the gun go pop. And it's off to the races, stuck in my 20s, it's over already. I should have been settled, I'm hot as a kettle, now letting off steam. Out of the shower, fully exposed, grabbing a towel. In a predicament, check out my sentiment. I don't need empathy, send me a remedy. Flashback to your childhood, flashback to when life was good. We meet, so press, meet, so press. Turntables go back in time, the tables turned, your life was fine. We meet, so press, meet, so press. New adults say screw it all, keep getting screwed by pitfalls. When we meet, so press, meet, so press. Documenting like journalists, finger on the pulse of the occurrence. That's when we meet, so press, meet, so press. Funny how as a kid you strive to be grown. Left the nest but I failed the test. SOS, I cast my net wide. Currents are currently blocking my currency, stuck in the wave, rocking the boat, trying to move forward while staying afloat. Money means everything, I can't do anything, forcing my credit, always indebted. I went to school, now I'm paying them back. And if I ain't go, my pay is a laugh. Trying to get married, how about a ring? How about a wedding? My pay isn't ready. I get a divorce, paying the courts, plus alimony and child support. Go back in my bag, pull out a fag, dealing with stress, a pain in my chest. Seeing a doc, he found a tumor, chemo was next. I'm cutting a check, insurance is bugging, they don't do nothing. Check out my grandma, school was fronting. Out on my own, out of my home, facing eviction, I can't afford. Broken wings, so I'm flipping the bird, playing the lotto, mark for words. Flashback to your childhood, flashback to when life was good. We meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed. Turntables go back in time, the tables turned, your life was fine. We meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed. New adults say screw it all, keep getting screwed by pitfall. When we meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed. Documenting like journalists, finger on the pulse of the occurrence. When we meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed. For days I've been wondering if there's a catch. Going through drama, I'm breaking a sweat. More like a pool, I'm heavily drenched. What are the rules? My energy spent. Keep it 100, I think it's a hex. Bibbidi bobbidi thoughts in my head. Pick up a pistol and fill it with lead. Let it go off, I'd rather be dead. Suicide, a quick push to the end. A coward's approach, becoming a ghost. Man, I don't give up, to hell with the urge. Finger down my throat and I purge. Stormy weather gonna clear soon. Temporary struggle, I assume. Not the one to crumble, though I'm hurt. Wipe my eyes and then I go to work. Flashback to your childhood. Flashback to when life was good. We meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed. Turntables go back in time, the tables turned, your life was fine. We meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed. New adults say screw it all, keep getting screwed by pitfall. When we meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed. Documenting like journalists, finger on the pulse of the occurrence. When we meet, so pressed, meet, so pressed.
All right, so that song was Meet the Press, performed by Memo. That's spelled M-E-M-O. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all music streaming services in your neck of the woods. This, once again, is Jay Stokes, your gracious co-host of this Atypical Voices in Our Time, a.k.a. AVIOT podcast, the official podcast of K3mistry Productions. That's spelled K3mistry Productions, a media education company. Jay Random is not here with us tonight, and as I said in the beginning of the podcast, if he was not going to show up, I was just going to cut the podcast at 30 minutes. So we're nearing our close right now. That song that you just heard came out of a subsidiary or a little company that is owned by a record label that is owned by K3mistry Productions called Conchess Records. Definitely follow K3mistry Productions on our YouTube channel, on our Tumblr page, which is definitely a big area for us. Definitely follow us on Facebook. Like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like and comment and subscribe to our Facebook page. We definitely could use the views. We could use all the support. I talked about two stories earlier that dealt with LeBron James, one involving him trying to get new teammates to his team, and how another NBA player by the name of Kevin Durant said that the environment around LeBron James might be toxic due to the media around him, the media attention surrounding him. And also I talked about LeBron James and him quoting a line from a hip-hop song that spoke about Jewish individuals. But with that being said, I'm going to just highlight for the last end of this show, I'm going to highlight some future directions of K3mistry Productions. So I'm very proud with where K3mistry Productions has gone this year. This year alone, I could just talk about the many accomplishments. I mean, this AVIOT podcast right here was started this year through K3mistry Productions. K3mistry Productions also posted on our Tit for Tat web blog. We made a lot of strides with the different videos that we had on our YouTube channel, and I felt that we definitely did well. We definitely made some noise, and people know about us now. People know about K3mistry Productions, so I'm very happy about that. People talk about New Year's resolutions coming into January 1st. I believe that you should always start your New Year's resolution before New Year's. Don't start it on New Year's, because people always, they say, oh, I'm going to start my New Year's resolution, and then they do it for about a week, and then after a week is over, that's the end of their New Year's resolution. So my New Year's resolution for K3mistry Productions specifically has been to grow our audience, to make our message more clear about media education. We definitely are out here to help people understand the media that they are consuming, as well as create our own media that positively influences individuals. Take this podcast, for example, Atypical Voices. So we're talking about different news stories that are happening in the media and in everyday life, but giving our own spin on things, our own unique takes. And people out there might not agree with everything we have to say, but as long as you listen and we can start a dialogue and we can converse about it and spark change, that's all that really matters. Spark change in a positive direction. With the media that we create through our music label, we hope that it gets everybody to thinking, and we hope that it inspires people. We also have a book publishing subsidiary, which has definitely been slacking, but that's just because we are short-staffed, as I always say, and I have said in past podcast episodes, but I'm pretty sure that's going to do well in this coming year. So my New Year's resolution for K3mistry Productions is for our audience to grow, for us to make our message more clear, and for us to individuals out there and find ways to measure that, because we can say that we are educating individuals, but how do we measure that? How do we know? It's just it's just we're saying it, but we're not actually showing it. So I definitely want to get out into the field with this new year and document and show how K3mistry Productions is changing people's lives and how they interpret media, because media is all around us and it definitely influences us in different ways, and we have to learn how to not just be consumers but be critical consumers. So when we see something, not just take it for what it is and act on it, but see something and say, I wonder what's going on with that, and move on from there. For example, with music, you might hear a song, for example, Future, a hip-hop artist by the name of Future, released a song called Mask Off, and the chorus is Percocet, Molly Percocet, right? With that song, people just are hearing the beat and they're passively consuming the lyrics and they're just letting it fly. But he's talking about drug use. So a critical consumer would listen to that and say, okay, he's talking about drug use. You know what? I'm not going to support that. Or if they do decide to listen to it, they say, you know what? It's a guilty pleasure, but I'm not going to let this influence me. I know what he's talking about is bad, and maybe I can influence artists, or I can help people consume something that's better lyrically, but still as good with the cadence and with the beat and what have you. So that's pretty much where the future of K3mistry Productions is headed. I would definitely like to get more help this year. Maybe one or two more people, that'd be great, because at this point it's just me and Jay Random, the two co-founders of K3mistry Productions, as well as the co-host of this AVIOT podcast. And big shout out to Jay Random for giving us the idea to start this podcast. I really feel like it's a great way to connect with different people, and hopefully we can grow this as well. I'm definitely going to write out a detailed plan of where we're going with K3mistry Productions into this new year right here, so that I can follow through with growing an audience and educating people and measuring that success. So I thank you all for supporting us, those of you who have supported K3mistry Productions so far, and look forward to big things in the future. I am telling you, you do not know what you are missing. So without further ado, this is Jay Stokes signing off. We will see you in our next podcast episode.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.